guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cheney and I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, ages 12, 4, and 1. And today I'm going to share with you everything that we're going to be using for our prehistory unit study. Now, if you saw my schedule update, you know that we recently switched things up with how we're scheduling our homeschool, and so now we're going to focus in more on like a unit study approach. Originally, we had planned to focus on arthropods and insects and bugs for our unit study, but we as a family have decided to push that study over to spring. 1, because bugs are more available. 2, because of the recent re-outbreak of COVID, a lot of our hands-on activities that we had planned in field trips are canceled. We're not able to do them. So we're going to push that over to spring. The idea for this came because we're using Curiosity Chronicles for our history, and the beginning lessons of Curiosity Chronicles Ancient History Unit have a very, very slim overview of prehistory. And we found that we were super interested in the topic, and I was, once the concept of like, we could dig more into something like dinosaurs was introduced to my boys, we were like, okay, we really have to rabbit hole into this. So what I've done, is I've put together an entire unit study. I plan for this to take us 2 to 2.5 months. It is September at the time of releasing this, so my goal is, by December to have this wrapped up so that way we can start, after our break, we can start another semester with our arthropods unit. So we are going to be using, I don't have the whole thing, I just have this piece of paper because of the nature of the curriculum, but we are going to be using Blossom and Roots, Wonders of the Prehistoric World. So I haven't printed out the entire thing because it's not necessary. This is something that I will, use. I have it saved to my drive and I'll look at it on my phone. So I just don't feel that it's worth wasting the ink to print this whole thing out because this is just for the parents, and then it does come with a student guide, but that's something that I'll print out as I use it because I'm not going to use it in the way as often as some people might use it. So, but we're going to be using Blossom and Roots, Wonders of the Prehistoric World. This is, I think it's intended to be a 13-week unit study. This is my first time using Blossom and Root. After having looked through it, I think I'm in love. I really like the way this curriculum is put together. This is a secular curriculum, so the resources that I'm using here are going to be going through evolution and the Big Bang, all of those scientific processes. And I'm also going to be using the Junior Paleontologist curriculum from the National Park Service. Now, I found this before I found this. This is actually the first Blossom and Root anything that I've ever used. So, I was really excited when I did get this, that I found that this actually directs you to use this in this curriculum. So, just by happenstance, I happened to get 2 separate things that go together. This is available for free on the National Park Service's website, as well as this Prehistoric Life in the National Parks coloring activity packet. These are available for free on their website. And then this extension unit, we're not using like the entire curriculum, we're just using this unit study. This is available on their website for, I think it was like $21, so super cheap. It's only a PDF download, which for me is fine because I don't need it to be printed out. It's just, it's basically like the instructional booklet from Curiosity Chronicles, where it tells you books you can read, activities you can do. It gives you sort of an outline of, all sorts of different options. It's very adaptable to each homeschool. So I just printed this out so you guys could see what the curriculum that I'm loosely following is. I don't remember which all books were included in the curriculum and which ones weren't. You can find on Blossom and Root's YouTube channel, she does a pretty in-depth guide of what this curriculum is like. She goes through every book that is included in the curriculum, so you can go over to her channel if you want to see everything that's specific to their curriculum. Okay, and then we're also going to be using this junior paleontologist unit. I did a flip through of this, or first impressions of this, in another video on my channel, so I'm not going to go super in depth to it. If you want to see that, go to that video on my channel. But this is just an activity book. There's different things available for each different ages of my kids, and they're not doing it right now because of COVID, but whenever they're done with COVID, you can mail this in and the kids will get badges. This is just a companion packet that comes along with it. I just printed this out and glued it to the front here. Woo! But it's just, you know, an informational packet, and it comes with all of these coloring pages. So many coloring pages. And there's different things that I actually might utilize this for to go along with the Blossom and Root student activity notebook, because there are sections where, oh, look, a map. This will go great with our geography. I'll show you what we're going to be using to incorporate geography in a second. But there's just informational sheets, lots of coloring pages. I think it's just a really great companion to have. So, and again, I go through this much more in depth in that other video. Okay, so first I'm going to go through all of our read aloud type books that we have. And I have a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 12-year-old, so I try to cover everybody in the books that I buy. So this is the first book that I have. This is a board book. This is for my 1-year-old. This is Dinosaurs Say Goodnight and Other Bedtime Rhymes. So we will also be doing, we do rhyme time, which is kind of like a poetry tea time that I do in our home. So this book, as well as one other book that we'll get to, will go great with our poetry tea time. This is great for my 4-year-old and my 1-year-old. My 1-year-old loves board books. This I picked up at Walmart. Sorry, I don't have like a fancy link. I just happened to see it as I was going by, and I thought it was super cute, so I got it. But yeah, it's just a bunch of adorable poems about dinosaurs, and so it was just something I thought would be cute to include. Okay. The next book that I have, these are two different books. This one I got from Walmart. This one I got from bookoutlet.com. These are part of the same series, Never Touch a Dinosaur. This one's Never Touch a Dinosaur. This one's Never Touch the Dinosaurs. So this one's a touchy-feely. It does not have, it's just a story. And each one has a different feely book. My daughter absolutely loves these books. My 1-year-old. My 4-year-old likes to read them. My daughter likes to flip through and feel the different pieces. So each one just has a different texture, and then it's a cute little story. This second book in here deals with numbers as well. So 5 little dinosaurs are learning to roar. One goes, eek, needs his mom, so that leaves 4. And then when you flip to the next page, you know, there's only 4 left. And when you flip to the next page, there's only 3 left. So it's a really cute story. Again, my daughter loves these touchy-feely books. And it's starting to introduce numbers. So I just thought it was really cute. So this was something that when I saw them, I just grabbed them. I thought they'd be a great addition for my younger daughter to include her. The next book I have, I bought this to go along with our Curiosity Chronicles Ancient History unit, but it's going to apply really well here as well. So this is Where is Stonehenge? My 12-year-old absolutely loves this series. He devours all of the books that I give him. I think he's read 20-something books out of the series just this year. So if you're looking for something to captivate, particularly, I don't have an older girl, so I can't really speak to that, but my 12-year-old boy, he devours the show, he devours the books. Doesn't matter which, if it's a who was, where is, where was, any of that, he loves those books. This one also includes a pull-out map. So, but these are great for read-alouds as well. I always get these, I can't hold on to them long enough to do them as read-alouds, because when my son sees these, he takes them, he goes up to his room and he reads them in about 2 days. So, I have that. This one also was recommended to go along with Curiosity Chronicles Ancient History, but again, this is going to pair well with the end of our prehistory unit once we get to, the first humans. But this is a cute story about the first dog, and this was one of the books that made us go, okay, we have to dig in deeper to this prehistory unit. It's just a story about a boy who keeps telling the dog to go away, and eventually he realizes that the dog is his friend. And it kind of conceptualizes how the dog was domesticated. And this I paired with an episode of Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson that it was like a very beginning clip of the episode that told the story of how the dog was domesticated. And we really enjoyed that. So we'll do that again once we loop back around to this section of history. This I bought on a whim. I saw it on Amazon and I thought it was really cute, but I couldn't really see a lot of the inside of it. Once I got it, I'm so glad that I did. So this is Prehistoric Art, Cave Dwellers Edition, History for Kids, 4th grade Social Studies. And this comes from the Baby Professor series. And this is just so great. It's got really great photorealistic pictures, and it's got a very like National Geographic feel to it. It's super simple writing, and once I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I got this. So this will be great to extend into an art study with this unit. We can look at the different cave paintings, and then there are some art activities that I have in my Art for Ancients that will go really great with this. We might do some like rock painting as well, just to sort of add in that art element. But I was so glad that I got this. I haven't seen this recommended anywhere. So if you're looking for, a prehistoric art book to do with, young to middle school age kids, I think this is perfect. And it leads into ancient history. So that's where we'll be kicking off from here. So that's a great addition. Up next, I have Barnum's Bones, How Barnum Brown Discovered the Most Famous Dinosaur in the World. This is a pretty thick picture book. So there's a lot of words to it, just so you know. But, some picture books are going to land better with my 4-year-old. This one I think will land better a little bit with my 12-year-old. But, if need be, I could probably break it up into pieces if I wanted to keep my 4-year-old's attention just so he can get the story. But this is just one of those scientist studies to add in. I have another scientist in here as well that we'll get to. But yeah, it's just a cute picture book about discovering dinosaurs. Next, I have Dinosaurus, Prehistoric Poems and Paintings by Douglas Florian. This is another thing that we're going to have to go along with our rhyme time. This is the cutest book. So it has like a really unique art style, and all of the poems are dinosaur based, but they're also really silly and really funny. Longer than a tennis court, bigger than a barge. I never knew a lizard could ever be so large. I moved about without a herd that roamed across a plain. With stretched out neck, high as a bird, it looked much like a cane. On massive legs with knobby knees, it traveled very slow and ate all day from tops of trees. Grow, baby, grow! So, and that's for a Bronchiosaurus. So yeah, so it's a really cute way to remember the different types of dinosaurs. There's a poem, I think, for most types of dinosaurs. So when we're doing our rhyme time, we'll cycle through these. I thought these were really funny, really cute. I think the art style is super unique. So yeah, that's cute. Next, we have Goodnight Trilobite. This is also a really cute story. There aren't a lot of books about this earlier period of prehistory. And so finding like a really cute bedtime story that's packed full of scientific information, I thought was really sweet. This, I believe, is recommended to go along with the prehistory unit study from Blossom and Root. But it's a really easy read. It's not too word heavy, so. Whoop. And then again, there's some geography in the back. Next, I have Dinosaur Lady, The Daring Discoveries of Mary Anning, the First Paleontologist. This is the first book. I've been eyeing this lady series. There's Dinosaur Lady, there's Shark Lady, I think Space Lady. I'm not sure. I know there's another one in this series. But now that I have it, I really like it. The wording is super simple. It's not too wordy. The illustrations are really nice, and it's just the story of the first paleontologist. I don't know if you can see that, but I just thought this was a really beautiful book. So I added it in. I don't think this was included in the Blossom and Root, but they do have like a whole book seed dedicated to Mary Anning. I just opted not to get that because we're, if we read the story and we decide we want to dig that deep into her, we will. But for the time being, I don't feel the need to branch out that far. This one, actually I'm going to put this together with this because they go together. So we have these two books. These are two in a series. So we have When Bugs Were Big, Plants Were Strange, and Tetrapods Walked the Earth, a cartoon prehistory of life before the dinosaurs. And then this one is When Fish Got Teeth, When Fish Got Feet, Sharks Got Teeth, and Bugs Began to Swarm. So these two are really cute picture books that go through these times before the dinosaurs, earlier in history. It's a little bit difficult to find books from before and after dinosaurs. There's plenty of resources for dinosaurs before and after. Without going into ancient history, it gets a little bit more difficult. But I thought that these were really great. These give me DK vibes, except they're illustrated, so. But, yeah, so these will be just little read-alouds that we'll do. I'll probably include them, excuse me. Oh, A Timeline of Black Wonders, yeah, see, so that's really cute. And then this one goes to the next period. Oh, you know what? These are National Geographic, so look at me. Yeah, no wonder they're so good. Welcome to Pennsylvania. So it's got these really great graphs in here. So if you're looking for like a super gentle way to talk about these things, these are really great books to use. Alright. Up next, I have Grandmother Fish, A Child's First Book of Evolution. This, I think, is a super sweet story. It's very, very simple. So this is for, my 4-year-old will be the one to take away the most from this, but it's a really good introduction to the process of evolution from a single-celled organism all the way to complex life as we see it today. Yeah, so here's our evolutionary family tree, which is great because when in the first or second lesson of Curiosity Chronicles Ancient History, one of the things is to do a family tree for each of your students, do their own family tree. So I think it would be nice to see our family tree like as evolutionary creatures and then move into our individual family trees. And then here's some just some resources for parents, teachers, babysitters, etc. And a little bit more correcting common errors. Yeah, I think this is a really great book. So if you're looking for a gentle way to introduce the concept of evolution to a young child, this is the perfect book to do that with. The last read aloud that I have is Fossils Tell Stories. This is written by Yuri Kim. I bought this used, so if you notice like dirt or whatever, most of the books here today I bought used if I could. I always try to find used resources, secondhand resources where I can, unless it's something that I need like all the pieces for, then I'll go, buy used. But if I can get used books that are equal quality, I will. So this is a super cute book. This is that same sort of mosaic art style. It's very simple. Look, dinosaur bones. So, you know, it's not, this is more geared towards a younger age. My 12-year-old will sit in for the picture books. He doesn't hate them. You know, they can work for older children. But, oh, that's cute. You know, this is geared towards a younger audience. So depending on what age your kids are, if you have a wide range like me, then, you know, these are, I try to find things that can apply to all of them, or more than one child, as often as I can. But yeah, so there will be like a fossil section that we get to, and when we do, this will be our read aloud for that section. And then in the end, it has a make a fossil activity that goes along with the book. And it also has less think questions. Okay, so those are our read alouds that we have. There's not too many, but that's plenty enough for us. So just set these off to the side. Next, I'm going to show you our spine books. Now, I have quite a few spines, so bear with me. But this is, you know, a huge chunk of history that we're going through. So I tried to pull from as many resources as I could, and I'm going to make a separate video to take you along with me as I plan this unit study so you guys can get a better idea of how I actually use all of this material. Because I realize I'm showing you all of these books, but if you're new to homeschooling or you're new to unit studies, you might look at all this and go, oh my gosh, like how are you even doing all of this? So stay tuned. I am going to make a video where I show you how I utilize all of this material. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is Dinosaurology. I've had my eye on this series for a while. This is my first book from that series, and I am pleased with what I found. It looked really fun, and now that I have it, I know that it is really fun. So this is Dinosaurology, The Search for a Lost World, and it kind of takes you along as if you are, you're an explorer and you're searching for this lost world. So it's got all of these little letters in here, which are super great. I'm scared to pull this out. Yeah. So this is not the best for tiny hands. This is something I'm going to have to keep away from my daughter. And also heavily monitor my 4-year-old. He gets excited, so this is something that, you know, he could definitely rip up. This is also something that maybe you wouldn't want to buy used because, you know, pieces like this might be ripped. But these books, there's a couple of other ones that I've looked at that I just never brought myself to buy. I saw that they had a Dinosaurology book, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I have to get it. There are these little, you know, so even this would apply to my 1-year-old because they're, we were able to collect this shed of Allosaurus skin left behind in the mud flats, and then you feel it, and it's, you know, what it feels like. So this really feels like an exhibit type of journey, you know. I feel like this kind of book would be the book that you would always remember having, you know. There's stuff like this. I just think this is so great. Here's another, like, touchy-feely. Micah tells us that the islanders use finely ground dinosaur horn as medicine. And then, you know, it's just something that they can touch. I really think this is a great resource. You know, even if you're not doing like a homeschool unit study, if you have a kid that likes dinosaurs, perfect book to get them. There's more prehistoric plant life, dinosaur locomotion. There are all these little mini books up here. It's like a pre-made scrapbook, if you will. And I just really, really love this book. There's some studies into, you know, paleontologists. It's just super great. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. I don't know if you can see that, but there's the egg on this side, and then it shows all of the space inside of a dinosaur egg. That will go really great with a certain, when we get to, I'll get to it in a second, but I actually have a dinosaur egg that we're going to use. So if you were looking for something to get a prehistory loving kid or a dinosaur loving kid, I would say this would be a great gift. Okay. So that's Dinosaurology. Now this, I did not see this recommended anywhere by anyone for anything having to do with dinosaurs or prehistory. I saw it on Amazon and the cover just, I kept coming back to it, right? Like every time I would buy a little bit here and buy a little bit there, this kept coming back to me and it kept drawing my attention, so I was like, okay, screw it, I'm gonna buy it. This is the DK Smithsonian Dinosaurs and Prehistoric Life, the definitive visual guide to prehistoric animals. And oh my god, you guys, this is the biggest DK book I've ever seen. It is huge. I don't know if the camera is doing this justice, but like this book is pretty large. Look how much thicker. Like this is huge. If you only want one book to go through prehistoric life, this is the book. As I flip through it, I'm like, I could have just bought this. This is great. If you're a teacher and you're looking for, you know, a spine, a textbook, anything like that, this book is the bomb. It's beautiful, it's in depth, it's very comprehensive. I really can't say enough. It goes in detail through each stage of life, from the Big Bang all the way up to humans. So, y'all, look at this. This is amazing. Here are all of these diagrams. Now, I'm not going to open this up and read word for word, right? This borders, it can go like up to like more higher level concepts. Like right here we have genes and DNA. What is evolution? What drives evolution? Adaptability. There are all of these, you know, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, photosynthesis. It's so crammed full. Classification. Life on Earth. How beautiful is this, you guys? But yeah, so this is a textbook. I cannot stress this enough. This is a textbook. So this isn't something that you're just going to open and read aloud, snuggled up on the couch. And if that's not something that you're interested in, that's fine. But I think that this is the most beautiful resource for what it is that we're studying. If you wanted to just build your own from scratch, you don't want to follow any kind of curriculum or anything like that, if you're trying to do a high school level course on prehistory, this is the book for you. So, like I said, it goes through in depth every period of history. Prehistory, I'm sorry, every period of prehistory. So if you were to do a unit study on plants, you could start here in this plant section. Yeah, this whole section's plants. I want to kind of flip through a lot of it because like I said, I haven't seen anyone talking about it. In all of the research that I did into resources for prehistory, no one mentioned this book. I don't know if it's newer and maybe that's why, or it's just flown under the radar, but this is a brilliant resource. As you can tell, this is very in-depth, incredibly in-depth. I can't This could be a whole year, you know, of a high school level prehistory course. Speed up just a little bit so I don't drag this video out too long. But this is, I was so glad that I made this purchase. I really am, because if I ever wanted to circle back to a dinosaur unit or a prehistory unit, but you know, level it up to a higher level, all I need is this. Also, it was really hard to find stuff for mammals. You know, like Ice Age level stuff that was accurate. A lot of stuff is super out of date, so having that kind of resource, a really in-depth resource for the evolution of humans. And there's also a glossary, so I can pull vocabulary words from here for this. I don't have anything that includes vocabulary words, so, but it is something that we do in our homeschool. We do have vocabulary words. So, yes, number one, probably my favorite purchase aside from Dinosaurology. These two things I haven't seen anywhere else. They're worth the money. Get them. Okay, moving on. Up next, I have Life Story by Virginia Lee Burton. This is a storybook telling the story of life from the Big Bang all the way through until modern day. It's very easy to read, right? So there's just a beautiful illustration and a paragraph. Beautiful illustration and a paragraph. And the illustrations around tend to be really great graphics. So if you're working with a younger child and you are trying to explain, you know, how life came to be the way that it is, this is an awesome resource to have. I think that my 4-year-old and my 12-year-old will benefit a lot from this. It's just told in the way of an easy story for us to read through. And it's just super compressed. So this is yeah, this goes all the way to, this is past, you know, farming. Yeah, now we're doing art. So this is genuinely all the way through to the modern day. So that's a really great one. Next, I have Not for Parents, How to Be a Dinosaur Hunter, Your Globe-Trotting Travel Your Globe-Trotting Traveling, you guys, I can't talk today. Your Globe-Trotting Time Traveling Guide. Got it. This I'm going to be using as our part of our geography tie-in. But I saw someone else, I don't remember which video it was, but I saw someone mention this book in a video, and I thought it would be really cute, particularly for my 12-year-old. Therapy Monsters. So this is kind of like a storybook, but it's packed full of information, and it, I think, will do a great job of showing us, like, you know, what the world of dinosaurs looked like, which is kind of a big deal. So, yeah, see Stars of the West, so we're able to tie in, you know, this is where this dinosaur was, or this dinosaur was, etc. The Bone Wars. So, super quick and easy. Like like I said, I'll go through how I'm going to actually utilize all of this. This was just something that I found. This wasn't included in any of the curriculum that I'm using. Up next, I have the Smithsonian, the Dinosaur book. This is the main spine for the Blossom and Root curriculum. So, as you can see, I bought this secondhand, as I always do. This is a really great resource. It's DK, so, you know, top notch. This is geared more towards a younger, like elementary age than the big book was. And maybe that's why no one's talked about it, is because it's not geared towards an elementary age child, whereas this is geared towards more of that elementary level. But yeah, it's great for pictures. I mean, it's a pretty standard DK book. You pretty much can't go wrong with a DK purchase. But yeah, it's just quick quips in each section. I think they're organized by dinosaur type. So again, it shows the inside of a dinosaur egg. Herds and packs, arms and hands, dinosaurs take flight. So again, it's a little bit chronological, but you know. It's the same concept pretty much all the way through. Going to have a lot of graphics. So we have that. Okay, next I have When We Became Humans, Our Incredible Evolutionary Journey. This is another one that I got to kind of dig into the after dinosaurs period. This is a little bit harder to get, but I felt like this is a really great breakdown of what human evolution actually looked like. I think a lot of people have a lot of really bad misconceptions about human evolution, and I think that's why people have a difficult time understanding it. But this, I felt did a great job of just sort of showing that process in a simple way for my children to understand. Also, I think the illustrations are absolutely beautiful. Healthcare, antibiotics, early surgery, vaccines, you know, cave art. Here's Stonehenge again. Ancient voices, language origin. So, you know, it covers a really, really large amount. The Hobbit, our last cousin. A really large amount of information in a very, very easy to digest way. And again, more geography tie-ins. Okay, so there's that. Here is another book, and like within this sort of the same series. This one was recommended by the Blossom and Root curriculum. I don't think this one was. I think I could be wrong, but I think just this one and not this one was recommended. Okay, so this one is When Whales Walked and Other Incredible Evolutionary Journeys. So this is very similar to When We Became Humans, except this is every other animal story. And again, it's the same concept. It takes these really complex issues and it breaks it down to really digestible, approachable, a really digestible, approachable, I guess, I can't think today, you guys. Like a spoonful of sugar, I guess, for topics that sound really boring, right? I feel that these would be what would be considered living books for this topic. So, Yes, and again, it's got a little bit of human evolution in it as well. All right. Up next, we have another DK book. This is the DK Smithsonian, Where on Earth Dinosaurs and Other Prehistoric Life. This is our second or third geography tie-in. We'll use this specifically, running out of table space here. We'll use these specifically to do a geography timeline and just kind of understand what the world of the prehistoric life looked like. A lot of people talk about the things, like they talk about the dinosaurs, but they don't exactly talk about what the world around the dinosaurs was like. What kind of plant life was there, what was the climate like, that type of thing. Where were they? You know, there are going to be different dinosaurs in North America than there were in other continents, even though at the time, as it shows, there's Pangea. There's also some really great, there's a really great Pangea craft that comes along with Blossom and Root that we will probably do along with this as well. So when we get to dinosaurs, we're going to really dive in deep to dinosaurs. But having two boys, that can't be a bad thing, right? And so as cool as dinosaurs are, I'm really using this as like a pathway to really deeply study geometry, plate tectonics, evolution, DNA, some of these higher concepts. Fossils, you know, what the process of discovering these types of things are, how we came to the conclusion that we did, that this is what happened or how it happened. And prehistory has one of those benefits of being both science and history. So, two birds, one stone, right? So yeah, so this is just a really great geography resource for this particular topic. Up next, I have the story of life evolution. This is another spine from Blossom and Root. Now, this is another series that I've been eyeing that I haven't brought myself to buy yet, and now that I have, I'm really glad that I did. This is the Welcome to the Museum series. This is a smaller book. I have another set from them. The rest of their books are like way bigger than this one. This one's a smaller book, but arguably has more information in it. So again, this goes through each period of life, and it's set up like a museum where there's this really beautiful illustration of whatever the exhibit is on one side, and then kind of like its plaque on the other side. And there's, you know, the big takeaways, and then even smaller, more in-depth information. So I really thought this was beautiful. I'm glad that I bought it. I'm kind of mad at myself for waiting as long as I did to get this series. It's really great. Now, I've heard people say that the moms like this more than the kids do, and we'll see. I do get really excited about beautiful books, and, you know, my boy doesn't really care so much about, you know, the beautiful artwork. As much as he's an artist, this type of stuff doesn't excite him. But I just really love living, beautiful approaches to concepts that, you know, maybe it's just my education was really different, but stuff like this got groans, you know, and so, but it wasn't presented to me in this way. The Cambrian explosion. Yeah, so like I said, there's an illustration and then an exhibit, and then a key to the plate, right? So, yeah, this is a beautiful series of books. So if you were on the fence about getting these, I would say go for it, because it's really beautiful, and it's really great information. It's not too much, it's easily compact. This is a great coffee table type of book, if that's your thing. It's very memorable, I guess. So that's a good one. Next is coming from the same series. I have Welcome to the Museum Dinosaurium, along with the Dinosaurium activity book. Now, when I got this activity book, I was so happy about it that I don't think I'm going to actually let them write in the book. It's so beautiful. I think I'm going to make copies of it. And I get that the reason about the book was for them to do the activities, but I just, when you see it, look how beautiful. And it's like the nicest paper. It's got more information on the backs of the pages. It is perforated, so it's intended for you to rip the pages out. So like this is a spot the difference. Fill the nest with eggs and baby dinosaurs. Circle the carnivores. So it's not super complex stuff, but this is just so beautiful. I don't like, it has no right to be as beautiful as it is. I think this is like the part where they're like, I think moms like it more. How to draw a sauropod. My 12-year-old will love that. Find the missing square. Fill the skull with teeth. Another spot the difference. Color the Brachiosaurus. So all of these bigger books, I believe, have these activity books that, activity books that come along with it. And I say, get them. They're absolutely beautiful. Particularly if you're teaching a class and you want to use one of these books as your spine, this goes along perfectly. Put these dinosaurs in length order, so, measuring. Put these Mesozoic periods in the correct order. I think there's a few of these pages too. Complete the dinosaurs, draw an opponent, match the dinosaurs to the food that they ate, match the labels to these 4 reptile families, create your own duck-billed dinosaur, So I just wanted to include this. This is more geography that we can tie in. Match the species to the regions where their fossils have been found. And I'm assuming that the answers to all of these can be found not only in here, but also within the main book. So this is the activity book, and this is the main book. So this groups them by dinosaur, or by dinosaur types, right? Rather than the other one goes by period, this goes by dinosaur types. So this is just a more in-depth look at dinosaurs. Again, this is an evolution tree. More geography. And so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This, again, is a much bigger book than the other one. These books are really tall. But again, there's the exhibit, or there's the plate, and then, you guys, I'm talking about dinosaurs, and I just looked up and there's a lizard on my wall. And he is like brave too. He's like all the way up on my wall. He's not even fazed by me in my own house. So Extinction. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, this is a really beautiful book. If you're on the fence about these, Welcome to the Museum books, I say go for it. Okay, so last but not least, I have Life, the First 4 Billion Years. This is another spine from the Blossom and Root series. I want to have it all, so I got it all. I think this is another really great book. Here comes the sun. There's like all of these. Ooh, I don't know if you can see that. These great fold-outs. This is getting clustered. So again, these are these really great spreads to really internalize. I think the illustrations are really beautiful. Again, it's really digestible. This, I would say, would go for like a higher elementary, but we'll be utilizing it. You know, I have a wide spread of pages, so I try to check off all the boxes. Again, I think this one does a really great job of describing the world of prehistory versus just the creatures that lived in it. Oh, that's beautiful. And again, this is this goes from the Big Bang all the way to modern humans and mammals. Just going to give you a little bit more of an idea of what is in this book in case this is something you're looking for. And again, this one also has a glossary, so I can pull vocabulary words from this one too, and there is a timeline in the back. Alright, so now that I have gone through all of that, last but not least, I'm going to show you all of the activities that I have. So Blossom and Root comes with hands-on activities. There's 3 per lesson, which is great, and we're going to do a lot of those, but I went ahead and I bought some other things to go with it as well. So I got this National Geographic Mega Fossil Dig Kit. It comes with 15 real fossils, an extra large dig brick, excavation tools, brushes, magnifying glass, and a learning guide. So we'll pull it out, we'll dig through it, we'll be our own paleontologists for a day. And I have some more things that kind of go along with that, but I really wanted to get the STEM in. I don't know if you can see that. I got all of these activities off of Amazon, for the record. I just looked them up and found them. So I have that. Along the same line, I have this Dino Egg Dig Kit. I still have the plastic on it, but this came with 12 eggs. You dig, and then on the inside it's got different kinds of dinosaurs. And then they can keep the little dinosaur toys for open-ended play. Perfect for party favors, play dates, group activities, and much more. So yeah, I really wanted to have a lot more hands-on stuff going forward. And, to beat a dead horse along the same vein, I got a giant Dino Dig egg. Will you get the pterodactyl first or the T-Rex? I think this is from, I feel like I'm going crazy. Yeah, so this is another steam toy. This is just a giant egg. I'm trying to see. Yeah, okay. So there's 12 different dinosaurs within a 12 learning cards that go along with it. So this is 12 individual dino eggs, and this is one giant dino egg. Up next, I have this Professor Noggin's World of Dinosaurs. This is a card trivia game. These are like super old school. I used to play these. My grandma had them. It also comes with a piece of dice, but each one has questions that increase in difficulty. I actually need to. I think I need to go through and separate these, but they increase in difficulty. So as you play through, you can increase. Sorry, I heard a child yell. They increase in difficulty, so as you play them, you can memorize all of these little math facts. Or, not math facts, I'm sorry, dinosaur facts. Next, I have Fossil On. This is going to be really great. I'm going to tell you, I am a little bit hesitant about the pieces in here, and my 4-year-old, because these are going to end up hogged in his room. I know they will. But it comes with all of these magnets, and then these, I'm going to be gentle with it, but these real, actual fossils. I'm scared to pull them out, because I haven't opened them yet, but they're real fossils in here, a lot of them. And then it comes with game instructions, and then these cards with information on each of the stones, as well as all of the fossils. And then, there's a game that goes along with it where you identify the fossils and learn more about the fossils. So I thought that this was a great resource. I am, again, really nervous about having young children playing this, but, you know, it'll last as long as it lasts, and then when it doesn't, it doesn't. But they will remember playing this, so. I don't know if I can't. This is, like, really difficult to close, also, for the record, once you open it the first time. There we go. All right. Okay. Very last thing I have is Dino Math Tracks. This is a place value math game. I thought it was super cute. If you can look here, you roll a 4-digit number. You have to stay in this. Basically, you figure out like what, you know, hundreds place, one place, in place. You get little dinosaurs, but if you like run into another dinosaur, then you get to duke it out. I thought it was really cute. It was a great way to add in some math, more games. I just thought it would be a really great opening activity. So that is everything that I'm using for my prehistory unit. Again, be on the lookout. I'm going to make a video to take you along with me as I plan this unit study. And if you have any questions on any of the resources that I have in here, you can leave them in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll